What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Oh man, you better sit down for this one because the Kansas City Chiefs have just pulled off a blockbuster trade that's shaking up the entire NFL world. This isn't just another transaction. This isn't just a minor roster tweak. This is a full-on, season-defining, no more doubts type of move. Brett Veach and Andy Reid just made a statement to the entire league. We're all in. And if you thought the Dynasty was slowing down, think again. The Chiefs are coming for everyone, and this trade just proved it. All right, let's rewind for a second. The Chiefs have been under the microscope all season long. Every analyst, every talk show, every rival fan base saying the same tired line. The Chiefs just don't have the same spark. People questioning the offensive line. People questioning the receiver depth. Even some doubting if Mahomes could drag this team back to another Super Bowl. And through all that noise, you could almost feel something brewing. You could sense the tension behind closed doors. You could see Brett Veach sitting there in the war room, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And guess what? He finally did. The trade just went down, and it's everything we could have hoped for. A big name, a high-impact player, someone who fits exactly what Kansas City needs right now. The kind of player that turns weaknesses into strengths, that adds swagger, leadership, and maybe most importantly, a reminder to the rest of the league that the Chiefs aren't fading, they're reloading. Now let's break this down because the ripple effects are massive. The Chiefs didn't just make this trade for headlines. They did it with surgical precision. The front office identified a position that had been under fire. They looked across the league and found the perfect piece. A player with proven production, playoff experience, and a chip on their shoulder. Someone who's been itching for a chance to join a contender. And now, boom. They're walking into Arrowhead Stadium, ready to make an immediate impact. You could almost hear the locker room explode when the news hit. Players are buzzing. Social media is on fire. The fan base is losing its mind because this trade, it's the kind that signals intent. It says, we're not here to just compete. We're here to dominate. Brett Veach doesn't wait for the offseason. He doesn't sit on potential. He goes out and gets his guy. And here's what's crazy. The Chiefs pulled this off without completely mortgaging the future. They gave up value, sure, but they kept their core intact. That's the genius of Veach. He's not just swinging for the fences. He's calculating it like a chess master. Every move, every contract, every draft pick, all lined up to make sure Kansas City can keep chasing rings without collapsing the cap. That's what separates a good GM from a great one. So now let's talk about the why. Why this trade? Why now? Because timing matters. The Chiefs have been sitting around .500, still in playoff contention, but clearly missing something. A few heartbreaking losses, a couple of sluggish offensive drives, some defensive gaps that made fans nervous. But now, the front office just sent a message not only to the players, but to every single fan. We're fixing it. No more waiting around for chemistry to build. No more experimenting with what doesn't work. This is a move made by a team that still believes the Lombardi Trophy runs through Kansas City, and they're not going to let anyone else hold it. And the player they landed, absolute difference maker. We're talking Pro Bowl pedigree, game-breaking ability, and a personality that fits the Chiefs' culture like a glove. The kind of guy who doesn't just fill a role, he transforms it. Someone who makes the players around him better. Think about what that does for the locker room. Think about the morale boost. Everyone feels that shot of adrenaline when the front office shows they're serious. It reignites belief. Let's imagine for a second what this does to the offense or defense, depending on the position. If it's an offensive move, maybe a top-tier receiver or running back, imagine how that opens things up for Mahomes. No more double coverage on Kelsey every snap. No more predictable play calls. Defenses will have to pick their poison again. And when you make them guess, that's when Mahomes becomes unstoppable. It brings back that vintage Chiefs explosiveness, the kind that makes every snap feel like a potential highlight reel. And if it's a defensive addition, look out, because this defense was already trending upward, and now you're talking about plugging the one hole that could have been their Achilles heel. Maybe it's a lockdown corner who can erase WR1s. Maybe it's a dominant pass rusher who gives Chris Jones help on the line. Imagine the chaos that creates, the energy that brings to Spagnuolo's unit. The Chiefs have won Super Bowls because of clutch defense in key moments, and this move might just secure that edge again.